Morning, everybody. It's Emily, and it's September 11th, 2018. Just coming in to do your daily energy reading, daily wisdom shot. And a couple things I want to say. First of all, I do still have a reading special out there, $25 for a 17 card reading, which is about 12 to 15, usually about 20 minutes long. So I definitely recommend taking advantage of that. I've gotten a lot of good feedback on those readings. Also, I want to mention that I might disappear for a while later this week because of the hurricane coming in. I'm actually not in a hurricane area, but I do run an animal rescue, which typically takes part in animal rescue and relocation of pets who are currently in the animal shelters so that we can help make space for pets who are displaced by the storms. So depending on the timing of the storm and when they will let us into the city or these cities, because we often visit an entire area, I might be away doing disaster relief for just a bit. So that's what has happened if I just fall off the grid. Hopefully it won't be that severe. If it is not, then we won't be needed, and that would be amazing. But in any case, so I have not shuffled your cards yet. I'm going to do that. But first I want to give you the message that I'm being told that everyone needs to do a really intense energy clearing today if you can. I might have time to run another chakra clearing meditation later, but I'm not sure, just depending on how everything goes with, we have to get in contact with all these shelters and everything for the hurricane relief. But for what you can do yourself, I actually just did a heavy clearing on my home and myself and my pets using white sage, cedar, and Palo Santo. And I recommend using the three of those to clear the energy, clear the physical body, clear the physical space, and move all that old energy out, because I'm being shown that we just made a really, really big shift. And so it will be really helpful for our recovery and our moving forward to get some of that stuff out, especially because that shift seems to have to do a lot with the emotional body and the emotional energy that we've been releasing over the last couple weeks, but especially this week in the last 3 to 4 days. So please take some time to do that in whatever way you do, whether you just use energy, you can use quartz crystals, you can use other crystals, you can of course, use a number of different sacred herbs or whatever works for you. Some people will even use pendulums and watch for the change in direction. However this works for you is just fine, but very important to go ahead and clear yourself, your space, any of the objects or places that you use to do your sacred work. Make sure that's cleared, and that will help us get this new start. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the cards for today. Let's see, let me just shuffle. Before I even shuffled, a bunch flew out, but it happened again. I really think that was my sloppy hands, so I'm not going to read them. I already cleared the deck and said the incantation. Keep wanting to pop out. I feel like it's me though. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just going to take this one. Fantastic. It's the sun. With the Queen of Swords, Two of Pentacles. That, oh my god, was just because I tried to shuffle again and more started to fly out. The bottom of the deck is 9 of coins, or pentacles in this deck. So the overall energy right now is one of stabilizing, stabilizing ourselves and stabilization, and of a certain degree of abundance and achievement, which really makes sense having gone through just all this clearing recently. I feel like we've all reached a certain level or a new height in our own process of clearing and ascension, and it's kind of like being on top of the mountain and being able to stop and look around, and then kind of reevaluate your situation from a position of strength and independence. So that's a good place to be. That's our underlying energy right now, regardless of what it might feel like at the moment. Sometimes when you do a lot of healing work or clearing work, it takes a few days to a week or so for that energy to move out. So just don't worry about it too much. Allow yourself to recognize the feelings that are coming up and just let them move out of your body. Let them go, because you really have released all this stuff. And if you worry about it and you really clutch onto it, then you're going to reintegrate that negative energy, and we don't want to do that. So you have already, just understand that you've already released it, and we've just got to allow it to exit our not only physical but also energetic bodies, and that can take a little bit of time. I've pulled the Queen of Wands separately, and to me that's sort of saying the same thing. Like we've just spent a lot of time reintegrating our energy and upgrading our energy, due to the amount of work that we've done and due to the kind of progress that we've made. So it's just important that we allow this cycle to finish itself and for the healings to complete, because we've reached this current stage. And of course we still have a little ways to go, but this is like the end of this particular healing cycle, and a new one will be beginning here momentarily, but it's a new level of accomplishment and achievement in our spiritual journeys. So I have the Sun over the 7 of Swords, and I have been feeling like today there's going to be some kind of illumination. There's some things that are going to be able to start coming to light, and you'll understand why you've had to move with such caution in some situations. So those things might have been frustrating you recently, and you might have been feeling like that's bogging you down and really creating a lot of mental anxiety and frustration. But you're going to start to see why that it's been moving along in the way that it has been, and why it's been kind of like hidden or in the darkness, and that it really was for your highest and best good. Maybe things moving forward in certain situations would not have been beneficial in the past, because it could have, the other person wasn't ready yet, the situation wasn't ripe yet. And regardless, everything's moving by divine timing, and it's led by the divine. So we just need to kind of trust and realize that that things are working out as they need to, but we're going to start getting a little bit more information about why that is, or see the bigger picture. That's probably the best way to say it. We're going to start seeing bits and pieces of the bigger picture to understand why things have been shrouded in the way that they have been. Then I have the Queen of Swords over the 8 of Pentacles. And I'm really feeling like this is about continuing to work on your own balance, but also your own sovereignty. And that while you're not disconnected from other people or things in your life, you're back to trying to focus in on what you need to change or what you need to work on in order to balance yourself out, because right now balance is key. When you're imbalanced, everyone else is going to mirror that imbalance. Um, it's like your work of art that you're continuing to work on. I'm an artist myself, so I know, like, when I'm working on a piece, I might start out with a plan, but frequently, as I see the piece develop and as I see it evolve, I'm forced to add or take away or change elements of that piece of artwork as I move along to bring visual balance in, or to make the piece start. It really is about visual balance, honestly. Like, if you're looking at it and something is off, maybe one side feels heavier than the other, and you might have to go back in and change an element or add an element or whatever, and you're still working toward the same you're still working toward the same communicative element, meaning your piece is about the same thing, or you're still working with the same energy, or you're still trying to get across the same point, but you're forced to refine it and continue to refine it so that the piece in itself ends up balanced and therefore as beautiful and as communicative and as effective as it could be. So I feel like that's where we are right now in refining and fine-tuning our own energy. And understanding that those in our environment, regardless of who they are, the closer they are to you, or the more they reflect your own, the more closely they resonate with your energy, the more closely they're going to be reflecting you and therefore doing the same thing. So please be understanding of that, and be fair in your assessment of what's going on. So that really tells me that, you may have, we've all been through kind of an emotional period, and it's time to step out of that and understand, and to approach things with a degree of objectivity and some detachment, knowing that everybody is going through the same thing, and that they are allowed and have the right to their own space in order to do the same kind of work that you're doing right now. It doesn't mean that they are unattached, or, well, let's not say attached, because attachment is bad. Anytime you have attachment, you're going to go down the wrong path. But it doesn't mean that they are not in your life anymore, or not resonating with your energy anymore necessarily, but they just might need their space to be able to bring themselves into balance. There are going to be people in your life who are no longer resonating with you, and the work that they're doing on themselves is taking them in a different direction, and you need to be willing to let that go as well, and that's also part of objectivity. Finally, I have the Two of Pentacles with the Queen of Pentacles. And for me, this is also about balance, but it's about feeling a sense of balance in your self-worth, and knowing that none of this, everything that's going on right now, again, is all for your highest and best good. It's not your fault. It's not because you caused it. It's not because you're not good enough. It's not because there's something you should have done differently or anything like that. It's because that at some point you have now made the choice in the physical world to move forward on your path and to choose this physical manifestation of the balancing of your energy. So the balancing of your masculine and your feminine, the balancing of your light and dark, the integration of your shadow self. And we're now creating our realities based upon this choice that we've made to experience this in the physical world. And this is going to move us forward to being able to really embody the energies that we came here to embody. And that includes your mission, whether that involves a twin or whether that involves a meshing of more than one kind of energy or world, different dimensions, or let's say ascension past the current dimension that you are inhabiting, that you are occupying right now in your own energetic space. We're moving to that place where you are able to balance all of the kinds of energies that you're integrating into your physical body. So you're coming into balance with the transcendent energies that you're holding, and you're anchoring it in the physical world, which is so important because we're not here to only exist in the etheric or astral realms. We are here to experience this on the physical plane, and our presence on this physical plane is affecting everyone else on the physical plane. And so your integration of these energies, your choice to have integrated the energies that you're pulling in through your body at this time, is affecting the planet in a positive way. It's helping to balance the entire planet. Every person who's holding the higher energy and the higher vibrations is actually bringing hundreds and hundreds of thousands of other people who are not necessarily doing that into balance, and pushing them, tipping them over the edge, pushing them past the tipping point so that they can start to experience this ascension themselves. And like getting the feeling, and I'm being shown like this huge building of momentum, like this is really the point at which all of the dominoes start to fall in the collective. So people who are outside of our usual light workers, twin flames, starseed kind of community, those dominoes are falling too because of the work that you're doing. I don't think I'm telling you anything that you don't already know, but that's all coming through right now in these cards. So I think that's maybe important, or also why we got the important message about clearing today, because we're really setting ourselves up to be leaders in that situation, in that paradigm that we're stepping into, as creators of our reality and the reality that we're all experiencing together as a collective, as the Queen of Wands, all of us, the Queens of Wands and the Kings of Wands, and stepping into the Nine of Pentacles energy right now, embodying that role of leadership in the physical world. I hope this is helpful. That's about all that's coming through at this moment. I need to get to work on my day job, so I just wanted to share all that with you for today. And hopefully I can come back later with a meditation. Please let me know your thoughts on this reading or the meditations, because again, it does take a lot of time, and if it's useful for you, I want to keep doing it. If it's not, frankly, I have other things that I probably should be doing. So just let me know. I really appreciate all of your feedback, your likes, subscribes, your shares, someone sharing, because I'm getting lots and lots of views. Thank you so much. And I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Okay, have a great day.